I would just like to point out that all of the characters and writings are property of the prospective owners and the people who created them. I own none of the content that is currently being created. Please support the official release of all such products. Thank you for listening. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Volume 1, Chapter 23 Flame Giant. Silence was suddenly broken. Cracks ran along the surface of her mask, and magical power gushed from within. Slowly, Shizu rose and began to mutter. Summoning magic? Ellen exclaimed in surprise. Oi, oi, seriously, what rank is she going to summon? Looking at the scale of the magic, it's gonna be monsters with a rank B plus or higher. Dana Nakata, do not say things so leisurely, it can't be stopped. As expected from skilled adventurers, they ended the conversation in an instant and then spread out. First restrain her, mud hand. Heavy collision, knockdown. Ellen makes ropes to tie her hands, while Cabal launches a technique with his body. Guido was an equally important member. He'd immediately assumed guard. Phew. Although they're only rank B, their teamwork is first class. There is no wasted movement. But, ha! Shizu swung her finger, pointing first down and then up, and then a small-scale explosion centered on Shizu occurred, shredding my tent to pieces. The tent aside, are any of the three injured by that explosion? As I wasn't harmed in the slightest, I wonder about them. While attempting to knock down Shizu, who had been restrained with mud hands, Cabal was blown away by the explosion. The lookout Guido sensed danger and was able to push Ellen away, saving both of them. Oh, are you guys okay? I asked them. We're okay. Wait, all of my body hurts. I better receive injury compensation. So the two responded, Oh, it hurts. You guys, please worry a bit about your leader. While complaining, Cabal stood up. What a sturdy guy. I knew Shizu-san could use magic, but even summoning? The heck was she saying? No, no, don't worry about that. As far as I know, for a summoner to use chant is unheard. Guido stopped moving when saying that, and then, No way. Explosion Monarch? In any case, the situation is just as I had thought. As Shizu continued to chant, as her body continued to emit red light, something began to emerge. Her mask slightly rose, and black hair freely flowed before it. What is her goal, for appearance to become so strange suddenly? Rigurdo, help evacuate everyone. Bring them someplace safe. But, it's an order. When you finish the evacuation, call Rango over here. Hi, I've received your order. Rigurdo immediately began the evacuation. From what I can see, the goblins won't be of any help here, and I don't plan to see them slaughtered pointless. Nor did I recall Ranga to fight Shizu. The reason is simple. Perhaps these adventurers have merely set up this play to create an opportunity to strike at us. Thus, the massacre they planned to beset upon us enabled them to freely discuss those things, no matter how trivial it actually was. So, when we encircled Shizu, they could strike at us from behind. Oh, Guido, explosion, what now? Who's that? Quickly answering his question, that is someone who was active 50 years ago. A hero-like person. Ellen received such a response. Someone famous? The moment I thought so, from Shizu's face, the mask fell. The flame rose as the wind. It swallowed Shizu, and from within a flame giant had appeared, a summoning magic flame giant. Ifrit, the ruler of flames, swallowed all things, voice of the world resounded. Then Shizu's body and the flame giant Ifrit fused as one. Grr! It's Ifrit, a high-ranking spirit with a rank over A. Wow, first time I see it. So, no way to win against it, huh? There's no doubt about it, she's the explosion monarch. Impact and heat slowly approach us. It seems the trio putting up a magic barrier, but they were blown away with a single blow. Although they didn't die, they were clearly harmed, conscious but unable to move. In any case, they're fighting for real, no question about it, and so I can officially ignore the possibility that they came here to wreak havoc. But wow, that skill was considerable power, releasing bottomless magical power, and with the flame giant Shizu in the center, a scorching wind surrounded her with a giant diameter of 30 meters. This fellow, if I don't fight, I'm a goner. However, there was something strange. Even in this situation, I did not feel any fear. Did becoming a monster cause such a change? I did feel fear of Veladora and the Black Snake. Maybe I'm just using them as a comparison. Oh, what's your objective? Unlike the previous explosion, she radiated a heat wave this time. However, I had already moved from that spot. With my perception speed, even if something moves at the speed of sound, I could evade it. Rather than the previous explosion, the heat wave came towards as radiation. However, I already avoid the wave. On a side note, I'm glad we haven't built the city yet. Those were my sincere thoughts. Moreover, with all the trees cut down, we fought in an open area. Had we been inside of a forest, it would have caught on fire, causing me much trouble. However, don't get carried away. I take aim at the abdomen and shot Waterblade, but the attack just before reaching the flame giant evaporated. A maelstrom of flames surrounded the flame giant, protecting it. So it seems Waterblade cannot pass through it. Would firing at full power be a good idea? So I thought, but then I imagined a steam explosion. Yeah, that won't be fun. Guess I have to resort to this. At that moment, Ranga had arrived. You called, my lord? For I ordered Ranga to retrieve the three, then, Good! Quick, retreat to a safe place. I'll defeat it. Although he nearly rejected that order, I will do as my lord said. I wish for your fortune in battle. With those words he left while holding the 3 people in his mouth. Now I can fight without reserve. The flames rage around her. Using my perception ability, I accurately grasped the distribution of heat within. Although the flame giant was creating clones of itself and sending them to attack, I could easily predict the danger resulting from the flame's temperature. Against me, that attack will never land, but at the same time, my attack will have no effect. What a troublesome flame that is. The ground turned into magma. The temperature inside must be unbelievably high. Thus, the problem. To use skills like paralysis breath or noxious breath, I'd need to come within 10 meters of the target. I just can't stroll into that place. To begin with, such as paralysis breath or noxious breath, it would be necessary for the target to be within 10 meters when it was used. In that high temperature, it would only be a bother. I cannot afford to do that. I don't want to class change into a charred slime. What should I do? Neither one of us can cause the decisive damage on the other. If this is how it ends, I should have predated more. While I was deep in thought, a magic circle appeared below my feet. Dangerous! By the time my intuition screamed, I was already trapped. Wide area capture barrier. Is this a special skill of the flame giant? Without a single chant, the magic circle instantly appeared. With a range of 100 meters, my body will soon be burned into vapor and be consumed by the scorching heat of the flame. It's the strongest fire range attack. Flame circle. She said with a voice neither feminine nor masculine, young nor old. There was no way to escape. I was prepared for death. I wasn't sure I had let my guard down, but I feel like I could have done something. Maybe depending on everybody without trying to look cool. Or mimicking the black wolf, using its speed and piercing through the heat. Not wait for it to move first and do something stupid. Try to hit it with black lightning. Should have tried any of these. However, although my perception speed should be 1,000 times the norm, I couldn't sense the danger. Well, maybe dying without pain is a good thing. But seriously, isn't this too slow? That's an in-play? Strange. I'm sure I was engulfed by flame. Solution. Due to heat fluctuation resistance, the fire attack has been nullified. Somehow I had forgotten about heat fluctuation resistance, is what I felt. Don't rely on every one of my thoughts, stupid. To such abuse, I could feel it respond with a dot dot dot. Though I'm surely just imagining it. There's no way Great Sage has developed its ego. Definitely just my imagination, so no problem. Well now. Oi, disable fire attacks. What did somebody set the mode to super easy? Is everything going according to plan? I'm doomed, I cried. But soon the tables turned, just as the theory teaches. In any case, I can now end this fight quickly. Now, what should I do? I proceeded to secretly entangle the flame giant with sticky steel thread. In just a bit it'll be my win. I made sticky steel thread a combination of sticky steel thread, which I created from diligent practice. Additionally, my resistance seems to be indefinitely active. In other words, I'm not taking damage. Checkmate. Impossible! For the first time, signs of fear revealed themselves in her voice. I underestimated you, but you too underestimated me. This I'll forgive, as we are both at fault. So, you're free to resent me. Is it my turn next? The flame giant tried to make her escape. However, I had predicted that move. There is no escape from my sticky steel thread. Thus, I slowly walked to her, to deliver the finishing blow on the Ifrit, who had probably possessed Shizu and manipulated her body. And without panicking, unable to run away nor even struggle, such a pitiful creature I approach. And then, the answer, of course, is yes. The dazzling lights wrap around us and then suddenly disappears. The remaining actors, me and an old woman. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Volume 1, Chapter 24. Reminisce. Funeral March. Fire pouring from the sky like rain. That's the first scene I remember. My mother's hand that I held so dearly seemed far too light. I was afraid to look above it. The napalm bursting in the air turns my surroundings into a sea of flames. Should I run someplace? Everything is covered in fire. Izawa Shizu was slowly drowning in despair, and then she felt she was bathed in the strong light. And so this is where I die. She was just a young girl, but that's so much she could understand. She was 4 at the time. With no relatives, she lived alone with her mother. Her father was drafted, and his face she could not recall. She felt neither blessed nor unfortunate. That being the norm, she could do naught but accept. Do I wish to live? If you desire life, answer my call. A voice resounded in her head. Do I want to live? Why? I don't understand. She was too young to answer such a question. However, looking at her mother, who was reduced to nothing but a hand. I want to live, she screamed. Acknowledged, answering the summoner's request. Success. I want to live without having to fear the fire. Acknowledged, acquiring extra skill. Fire manipulation. Success. The next time I opened my eyes, I was in a demon's lair. The one in front of me was a beautiful demon lord. Long golden hair, blue eyes. A well-adorned face, almond-shaped eyes, and skin so pale it's almost transparent. so beautiful that it wouldn't be strange to mistake him for a woman. Leon Cromwell, he is whom the humans called the Demon Lord, also known as the Blonde Devil. Ah, failed again, he so muttered, losing interest in her. However, he did not kill the girl whose body was covered in burns. She did not matter to him, and the girl found that fact vexing. Even now, sometimes recalls that beautiful face and the arrogant eyes devoid of interest. But at the time, she could only survive by clinging to him. In the end, she was saved by the Demon Lord's whim. Wait a second. She reached out to him. Maybe he, beautiful like an angel, would heal my pain, so she thought, but thought it was just trash. But this thing is suitable with fire, huh? With those words he called forth the flame giant Ifrit, with no incantation as if he were breathing, and the summoned Ifrit obeyed without question. I bestow upon you flesh, use it. Those words to the girl became undeniable proof dashing her hopes, and thus the pain she felt turned into hatred, and this curse, trauma, engraved itself upon her heart. However, it can also be said that this possession enabled her to keep her life. Since then, how much time had passed? As a flame demon, she ruled over one of the Demon Lord's castles, by his side as a high demon. Doom, doom, doom. The footsteps reverberated through the castle halls. The Demon Lord had already ran away, abandoning his castle. The girl was the rear guard, a sacrificial piece. The Demon Lord had treated her as a tool until the very end. Nothing had indicated otherwise. The one who was approaching was the hero. Long, black hair gathered into a ponytail and covering her body, black, light armor. A beauty that would rival the Demon Lord. The only difference, the hero was a woman. With one glance, she was certain. I can't win. When that thought overpowered Ifrit's mind, a little of the girl's ego had returned. She looked the heroes in the eyes. Help me. Words that one easily ignored. Who'd trust the words of a demon? However, it'll be fine from now on. Good job enduring this far. And from then on, she was cared by the hero. The anti-demon mask she wore restrained Ifrit and hid her burns. Her whole body she covered with a robe, and thus she followed the hero. And one day she came to be called the Explosion Monarch. Then one day the hero left on a journey. Her reason she did not understand. It was probably a reason the hero could not ignore. The girl, as well, planned similar action. That one day she'd set on a journey to kill the Demon Lord, who had saved her life and then threw her away. That is, killing the Demon Lord Cromwell became her life's goal. Therefore, the girl heartily found the hero's actions reproachable. But there was one regret left. She had never seen the hero smile. Since then, the girl became famous for her heroic deeds. Sometimes called one of the founders of the Freedom Association, she had worked for the expansion and benefit of the Adventurer Cooperation Union. She also took part training adventurers and her successor. At one time, she had taught excellent pupils. With a sincere, pure gaze, a boy, Kagurazaka Yuki; with a depressed gaze, a girl, Sakaguchi Hinata. These two were excellent students and fellow Japanese world travelers. These two were polar opposites, the bright and optimistic Yuki and the grudge against the world Hinata. That's probably because Hinata was attacked the moment she came here, so she thought Shizu. She was able to kill the assailants and thus escaped freely, but probably made some frightening memories as a result. She thought that Hinata was somehow similar to herself, and grew sympathetic. But that was a mistake. Sensei, thank you for the care you have shown. I fear there is nothing else I can learn from you, nor shall we meet again, I think. With those words, and without a second glance, Hinata had left. She, in a mere month, had surpassed Shizu in strength. Such overflowing excellence. After a few years, Hinata had received an important post within the Empire, but was not satisfied. Rather, she had treated the promotion with mild indifference. In comparison, Yuki was a sweet boy. After the Adventurers Cooperation Union had formally changed its name to the Freedom Association, Yuki had introduced the current ranking system. As a result of it, casualties during subjugation missions greatly decreased, and thus, to this day, Shizu had been supporting Yuki behind the scenes. That is, she no longer could do anything but guide new adventurers. The time she spent as a demon had begun to haunt her in her dreams. As her lifespan dwindled, she felt she was unable to restrain Ifrit's consciousness any longer. However, the anti-demon mask has yet to fail her, so she told herself, I don't have long to live, so let's at least shoot an arrow at the Demon Lord. Thus she decided to set off, which she reported to Yuki. Without a word, he had acknowledged her resolve. Perhaps he had wanted to stop her, but at the time, a message came from the Pharmas Kingdom's Guild. Veladora's disappearance confirmed. Will continue to investigation. Was it perhaps some divine guidance? In any case, they needed help to break into the forest. Someone needed to slip in with the trio. Her specialties she had heard from Yuki, and as she had heard, they were a cheerful bunch. She was glad to have met such good companions on her last journey. A strange city. Saved by monsters. They were brought here. Well, it wasn't really a city, though. Lacking a single building, everyone lived in tents, clearly a temporary measure. Even so, it was full of life, and monsters happily worked there. A bizarre city. It was unthinkable in the first place to be saved by monsters. Had she used her flame power, she could have easily burned away the giant ants, but she felt that she shouldn't. That is, each time she used her powers, Ifrit's consciousness would strengthen. Her negligence could lead to her powers running wild. Thus she met a strange monster with the attitude of a king arrogantly carrying itself. Amusing. Although the monster could speak, the words uttered were, "Although I am a slime, I am not an evil slime," and such, a line that no one would ever believe. And the fun times abruptly ended. I still haven't achieved my goal. At the moment her life force seemed to have finally ran out, Ifrit took over her consciousness. Again, I'll cause problems for, as if sneering at her thoughts and hopes, the demon had manifested, and she lost her consciousness. I tried to check on the woman's condition. Chances are, no matter how long I wait, she will probably not awaken. However, as a compatriot of mine, I want to see her through to the end. Those were my thoughts. The three injured adventurers were in high spirits. "I won't be paying your hospital bills," I wanted to shout, but what is this? The burns have completely disappeared, and my skin feels smooth and shiny. Awesome! Those injuries! I thought we'd be bedridden for weeks. Well, I'll be. These guys have some amazing medicine. They seem to have healed without issue. However, but with this, we won't be getting injury compensation, will we? Yeah, no one will believe us. Yep. But I'd take this over being left with injuries. Suddenly they had started to discuss their financial worries. They can't read a mood at all. Let's tell them to come hang out here sometimes. What should we report to the guildmaster? But instead, they were the ones who asked. I happily left a message for them to deliver. I admire adventurers, but since I probably won't be able to avoid a background check, registering with the guild may prove hard for a monster. Thus, to repay his debt, Cabal will mention the name Remiru to the guild master upon their return. Really, what a great guy. Being pleased with them, I decided to give them some parting gifts. Spider robe, scale mail, hard leather armor. I handed to them goods along with 10 pieces of restoration medicine. What? What's with this robe? It's so light, but sturdy. Actually, very sturdy. Whoa, the famous scale mail? Wait, isn't this Master Garm's products? I'll make it my family heirloom. Eh? Is this fine? This is clearly wasted on someone like me. And to have used the skin of a fang wolf? What to say? A noisier reaction than expected. And well, I gave it to them because they lost their equipment in that fire, and I wouldn't be able to buy them replacements either. It was clearly not my fault, but I can sympathize a bit. And besides, what I gave them is not but a test product, which of course I won't tell them, because they're so happy with the gifts. No need to disappoint. No problem. No need to tell them either, since even as a test product, it's good quality. Well, if they're this happy, they'll definitely deliver the message. In the end, the three would call me Donna, and were quite attached. And although they did worry greatly for Shizu-san, they set off 3 days later, and a week had passed. Shizu-san had awoken. This is... I see. Sorry for the trouble. She's fully conscious. Seems like she clearly remembers her time as the demon. I saw a dream. A nostalgic dream of a city to which I can no longer return. In Japan? Hey, Slime-san, could you tell me your name? I thought I already introduced myself as Rimiru. Rimiru. She closed her eyes as if in deep thought. Could you tell me your real name? So she asked. Had she noticed? And after a moment of hesitation, fine. You won't last long anyways. It's Mikami Satoru. My real name. Didn't think I'd ever say it again. As I thought, you're Japanese, huh? I wondered if that was the case. The air you carry, you know. Silence. And then, I also asked this of my disciples. What do you think became of that beautiful city, the one that turned into a sea of flames? Oh, let me show you. Having said so, I conveyed my memories with telepathic communication, a truly useful skill at a time like this. Ah, a tear rolled down her cheek, and, Slime-san, no, Satoru-san, would you listen to my request? What is it? Probably some pointless request anyways, but since I decided to look after her to the end, I can at least listen to her request. Please, eat me. What? What did this granny just say? You ate the curse placed upon me. It made me so happy. Well, I did want to beat the guy who cursed me senseless, but in any case, it would have been impossible for me. My last request, could you put me to rest with yourself? You know, I hated to be in this world, but I couldn't bring myself to hate this world, just like that guy. There's a chance I someday meet that guy again, so I don't want to be reborn in this world. Please, I beg of you, eat me. What a request. It's far too simple for me. For me to become her seal, for me to succeed her hatred. Am I unsure? To put her heart at ease and to send her off peacefully. I made my decision. Fine, I'll carry out your vengeance. What is his name? She opened her eyes wide to my question, revealing the burn marks with the tears flowing down. Leon Cromwell, the strongest demon lord. As if in prayer, she looks me in the eyes. I swear by the name Mikami Satoru, no, by the name of Rimiru Tempest, I'll force Leon Cromwell to regret having incurred your hatred. Thank you, she muttered, and she closed her eyes as if falling asleep. Her last breath escaped her. Activate unique skill, Predator? Yes? No? Rest in peace within me. Yes, I respond, and I pray. Within me, without waking for eternity, may you see only the happiest of dreams. Status. Name. Remiru Tempest. Species. Slime. Divine Protection. The Stormcrest. Titles. One who commands monsters. Magic. None. Skills. Unique skill. Great Sage. Unique skill. Predator. Slime-specific skills. Dissolve. Absorb, regenerate, extra skill, water manipulation, extra skill, magic perception, acquired skill, black serpent, heat detection, noxious breath, centipede, paralysis breath, spider, sticky thread, steel thread, bat, ultrasound waves, lizard, body armor, wolf, supreme sense of smell, telepathic communication, intimidation, shadow step, black lightning, fire giant, clone, flame change, area boundary, resistance, thermal fluctuation resistance, physical attack resistance, pain resistance, electricity resistance, paralysis resistance. The girl lifts her face up, her young, lovely face, and with relief she smiled. Here you were! Don't leave me again! But the shadows of men only shook their heads, pointing some place. The girl, her face turning sad, looked to where they were pointing to, and there, Mother! Filled with happiness, she rushed towards her parents. The shadows, having confirmed this, disappeared, as if they never existed in the first place. Perhaps they were but phantoms created by the girl herself, and so the girl reunited with her mother. Her long journey had now come to an end.